and they'll be pretty well prepared when they enter the schooling age, because obviously education is very important. And
not unless your kid's dumb.
And whose team is this? Is this your team, or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to Dad Mode Podcast, common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, common sense parenting in a politically correct world. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at the Andy Carlson Show on Twitter Machine. Let's try that again, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter Machine. I'm a father, and I have no idea what I'm doing, but you don't either there, man. Damn it. I need to come up with a list of the condescending things, but we'll get to it. Let's try and learn something together today. The website is dadmodepod.com, Twitter at dadmodepod, or just use the hashtag dadmode, and we'll get all up in that. Joining me today, a guy, just a random guy, not father, more of an uncle. Uncle Nick, at Nickerson on Twitter. Hey,
Andy, how's it going?
Now, would you consider yourself a parenting enthusiast?
Yeah, of course.
How many diapers have you changed in your life? I want to go over under 7.5.
Are you ready for this? You
Yes.
want to hear the number?
Yeah.
0.
Oh, you son of a gun.
No, I don't think my brother and sister-in-law trusted me with my nieces, and I may have changed some when I was, being an older cousin to my younger cousins. I may have helped out, but
Yep.
I don't think I truly ever, like on my own by myself, have changed a diaper before in my life. I've seen my brother do it. I watched my sister-in-law do it. I've seen you do it, but no, I'm still a rookie noob.
Actually, I shouldn't really curse you because I don't think I changed a diaper before I changed Mugsy's first diaper. But you get really good fast.
I mean, watching you, it sounds like once you get a system down, having, you have your people have their diapers ready, all the creams and whatnot, the wipes and stuff. So there's a pretty simple system, I'm sure it's like making a sandwich or something.
It's just like a giant turd sandwich on rye.
Enough about Subway. Hi-oh.
Hey. Today, speaking of changing diapers and someone else changing diapers, talk about daycare. Now, I spent the week previous, Crystal went back to work, put in her two weeks notice, and now she's going to be back until she starts her new job. And it was just me and Mugsy during the day. And I'm very fortunate enough that my job allows me the flexibility to stay at home with the daughter. I can focus, paying attention to her during the day, work at night, work weekends. It's really nice to have that sort of flexibility. But I don't know, man. It might have been just like the first week things, but there were some moments where she wouldn't stop crying. I couldn't do anything to console her. And it was just mentally and physically draining, where I was like, I would pay good money to have someone else watch this child so I could get some work done. And that's where daycare comes in. Now, moving up to the cities, daycare costs are relatively expensive. I've been shopping around a little bit, and there's the mom who has the house, who gets her license and has like 6 or 8 kids, and that's very nice too. Then you also have like the mega daycares, which I looked into, and they're like, take the nicest like elementary school you can think of, multiply that by 2, add little kid tablets, like the very simplified version ones, and then that's the daycare. That's freaking daycare.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. It's something, as I think as a parent, as someone who'd want to be a parent, it's one of the last things I think about. For me, it's about like, I think about like the health and well-being of the child, but then there's that whole like, eventually, typically we live in a society where both parents have to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and obviously, obviously you're very fortunate, but a lot of families are not fortunate enough to have someone maybe just be at home, or like have a family relative or a friend watch the kids during the day. No, they send them. They pay money to a person out of their house or to a company organization that watches the kid, and the prices are a little pricey.
Well, I've seen anywhere from like $40 a day. That's probably the low end. I think there's a couple places that have like $25 a day, but I don't know if I trust those. It's like when you're buying fish or like a nice piece of sushi grade yellowfin tuna. You're okay if you're spending $20-$25 a pound on it, but if all of a sudden you see some sushi, quote unquote, sushi grade yellowfin tuna for $5.99 a pound, you're like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, you got some time for some numbers here?
Discount sushi. All right, sorry, go ahead.
So, I am on CBS.com's website. Yep. Looks like a former website from 2 years ago, talking about good question of why childcare is so expensive. Yep. For Minnesota, it has here listed cost is among the highest in the country. For Minnesota, the average cost for infant care is $13,000 a year. For a 4-year-old, it's $10,000 a year for daycare. So families are spending more than and less than on someone else watching their kids, taking care of them while you're at work. Just sit back and think about that. That's almost the price of a car. A year. A new car a year.
A brand new one day. And I get it, especially if it's newborns and you're changing diapers. You have to keep them constantly entertained since they can't really entertain themselves. They're not to that age yet. And the higher end places like some of those mega daycares, I forget the names. Actually, I don't want to name the names.
No, New Horizon.
New Horizon was one of them. I think like Anna Bananas, I want to say.
Trying to think what else is there.
Well, why don't you Google, because I'm too lazy to right now, even though I got the computer right in front of me. But it was basically roughly about $100 a day, $500 a week. And then you get $26,000 a year. That's doing the math. So that's double of what they average. So that's definitely going the high end route. But I do like the idea of daycare, especially a preschool, for the interaction with other kids, which I think the social interaction is one of the more underrated aspects of it, rather than her just being safe and taken care of during the day. And I kind of vacillate going back and forth, since I do have that work flexibility, and I think once we get into a routine, she'll be a lot more calm with it, and I'll probably enjoy these years able to watch her grow up before she goes off to preschool and kindergarten. But then the other time, I'm just sitting at home, a little frustrated. She's crying, can't do anything. I'd be like, I would gladly pay $100 to someone to take her. Just take her, please. Like taken. I made this joke last night. It's like a daycare is like a messed up form of kidnapping. It's like, please take my child and I will pay you the ransom.
I saw you post that.
Yeah.
It's the one I was thinking of was Kinder Care, but let's see, Bright Horizons is another one. I mean, okay, you're on the example though that you have one kid. Imagine parents who have multiple kids right now.
Yep.
I mean, do you think you could handle one or two more?
Well, I can't even imagine what it was like if you're a single mom. And say you're working at a job that maybe brings in like $25,000 a year, like some like a lower end, maybe entry level job, and you got 3 kids. You don't have any relatives or friends that can watch the kids during the day, and you actually have to pay for childcare like that. I know that there are subsidies and tax credits out there, but that's still a giant pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I know. I think it comes to a point where that's when a husband and wife have to decide if one of them's the moneymaker of the family and the other one who just can't make ends. I don't want to use the word can't make ends meet, but when you factor out like, does it cost more to send them to daycare, or are you making enough where you can justify it? It's a balance. A lot of people have to come through.
Yeah, and also it's I want to get my business to the point where she can be the stay-at-home mom. It's not quite there yet. My goal is 4 or 5 years for our second or third kid, have her be a completely stay-at-home mom. I think she'd be fantastic at it. She has the patience and fortitude for that, and I think that would be her dream job, and she would be fantastic at it. But for right now, because self-employed health insurance, had that for a couple of years before we switched over to crystals. That's you pay like 3 times the rate of what Crystal through her workplace's health insurance is for the 3 of us, and that's a bit of a pain in the ass too.
I'm on Wikipedia's page right now talking
Plus,
about
I get free LASIK.
You get free LASIK?
Yeah, through Crystal's work.
What? I want LASIK. Oh my god, I'm totally. Can I marry Crystal when you're done?
No, we can adopt you.
Yay! Kids get free LASIK.
Probably.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, LASIK kid. All right, what were you saying?
Oh, talk about prices for childcare. Backing up a little bit, Wikipedia is saying the average price for infants can range from $4,000 to $16,000, where Massachusetts is one of the highest ones, and Mississippi only $4,800. So you can, so you
Mississippi,
can move.
they just fill up a bottle full of gravy and then let the kid roam for a day.
And there goes all our Mississippi listeners right there.
You won't finish old chitlins.
Pork rinds.
Yeah, well, did you ever go to outside the house daycare? So not like family member, not friend, but like actual daycare.
I went to, I believe, kindercare, I think, for 1 year before starting, I think, kindergarten. And a lot of, I think, Minnesota schools is kindergarten has like an extended day program. So like my mom, like I can get on the bus on my own, or like before my mom goes to work, she can do that. And then I'll go to kindergarten for, I think it's 6.5 hours or whatever for, your elementary school age. And then you go to an extended day program for another hour or two before my mom was able to pick me up.
Let's see. All right. So my grandparents were, lived across the street basically. And essentially my parents got free babysitting, so I was able to go with them a lot. But my grandparents also traveled a lot in their retirement. So I would occasionally have to go to like the in-town, I almost said nursing home, daycare. And it was this place where wasn't the greatest house in the world, was pretty dirty that I remember, but it was cheap and it was licensed. So I gotta think that some of those licensing costs were pretty lax, because I remember off the top of my head there's probably like 15 kids ranging from like newborn to like age 6 maybe in the summer, and then eventually they moved to a trailer, and I was like, I don't know if this is legal.
Now, like you say, license, so
yeah,
technically, like they should. I mean, like I think there's educators or like the state or city or whoever issues a license. I don't.
Yeah, well, there's through the state there's
should.
licensing, but I think it's either kind of lax or this lady like paid the inspector off, because I remember growing up, it was like this is not a place where a dozen plus kids should be just hanging out all day.
Oh man, that should have been reported. Hate to spoil the daycare system, but I mean, like having licenses. I mean, like these people are supposed to be allowed to. So they should be doing inspections every so often to make sure that the people are following the rules. Because
you got to think there's such a huge demand for childcare in every community, is that some of the regulations get a little laxed, because if you whacked all the people who aren't living up to the code, then you would have a massive shortage of childcare. You know what I mean?
All right, I understand that. I can.
It's not right, but I understand it. It's one of those situations.
That makes me worried about having kids in my future. Thanks for making me sweat a little bit there.
Well, it goes back to the $5.99 sushi. I mean, it might be perfectly fine, nothing wrong with it, but the $20 a day daycare might be perfectly awesome. The lady just might be maybe she's independently wealthy. Maybe she has a rich spouse or has some family money, and she just does this out of the goodness of her heart. Basically, just takes the money to break even and pay, have it at cost. Maybe it's one of those situations, or maybe it's a complete dirtbag operation, and your kid will probably get as sick as you would be eating bad sushi.
I feel like this is like a Disney movie or something. Wasn't this like how Annie kind of was, or one of those movies?
So you just need
Daddy like
Warbucks.
Despicable Me. The conditions that the three daughters were in, and they were at a like school for little girls, or like they're at an adoption agency or something.
Which is weird because you don't think that white girls would last that long at an adoption agency.
And we alienated more of our.
Well, because I mean, I can say that because I'm adopted. I mean, because Asian kids fly off the shelf. I mean, they can't keep those things in stock.
Because there's so many Asians.
There are a lot of us. Yeah. Straight out of Busan.
Is that next to Compton?
Since we're hopping on viral trends, what would yours say? Straight out of Roseville, obviously?
Yeah, straight out of Roseville.
Straight out of Philippines?
Yeah. Straight out of the Philippines. Well, my dad is, not me. I was born and raised in Roseville.
Now, the people who do run daycares, I take my hats off them because I don't think I have the... I'm not wired to take care of a dozen kids all at once.
Sadly, I hate to say it, I think, because you have to find those type of people who can do that, but I also fear there's a lot of people in that industry that aren't wired for that, and like I really don't want those people watching my kids. I want to find those good, sweet nanny people, who can handle doing the job and also who love it. Yep. I think that takes a special kind of person to be able to tolerate and put up with kids.
Another option that we're going to be looking into is the group nanny, where you get a group of 4 or 5 couples who have a young kid, and you hire a nanny as a group, and the nanny goes to one of your guys' houses every day. Sometimes it rotates, sometimes not, etc. Now, your friend Melanie, I know Melanie. Yeah, we'll call her friend. All right, so your friend Melanie does like something like that, right?
Yeah. She does it for I think she does it for her sister's kids, but I believe there's another group of kids that she does it for as well.
You should find out what her rate is because I'll double it. Screw you, sister. Sorry. Or maybe she'll just leverage that into busting the sister's balls. I need a raise or I'm outie. Peace.
I'm sure Melanie would love to go down to Farmington to watch the kids. Watch the kiddo.
It's a straight shot down pilot. It's all good.
I'll shoot her a text.
Okay. And that's something that it's pretty clear that she cares for those kids, is good at what she does, and I think that just takes more legwork. It's probably more of a crapshoot than the whole daycare thing, but it's probably more affordable. And frankly, I would worry. I would worry less with the group nanny than an actual just random daycare.
Are you comparing also daycares of the big giant ones?
I'm taking out like the mega daycares, which are
okay.
going to pay for the nose, and which is basically just like college for infants.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, even though you have to do like extensive background checks. Oh, we'll have to go to care.com, which would be a sponsor of the show. Find good babysitters and elderly care. 2 birds with 1 stone.
That would be nice. Oh, you know what's crazy? Oh, you know what's also crazy about childcare, which I learned from my brother and sister-in-law when they first had kids. Like, you don't just have the kid and then you start looking. No. When you're pregnant or when you're trying, that's when you actually try looking for booking a spot, getting a place in with quote unquote the nanny or the home daycare system thing, because you have to. It's like making an appointment. It's ridiculous. It's insane. I never thought you'd have to plan that far ahead in order to try getting like a spot in, because there are those organizations. Well, not, I don't want to take the word organization out. There are those people who do that daycare at home type of thing. Who get licenses. There's certain rules to follow, and they're only allowed to have so many kids. So like, so if you hear like, oh man, this one woman babysits our kid or watches our kids, and that's great, but you have to like go in and get your name in early if you want to secure a spot so she can watch them.
This is just gonna end up with me opening up my own daycare. Andy's kids.
sounds like a charity.
And 2 dogs who stay in the kennel. Sometimes the kids go in the kennel if they're very bad.
You could start a dog. You could start a dog day. There's doggy daycare.
I think that would be worse. I don't know how, but I feel like that. Actually, no, I don't think that'd be worse. I'll take dogs.
I think Brent and Whitney they send their dog to a doggy daycare. I feel
like the wait list would be longer for the doggy daycare. Now, I just want to get Mugsy to the age where she can go to the free daycare that I already paid for or will be paying for in that district, and that's just kindergarten. Come on, kindergarten. Come on, 5.
So you got to think about this. So the next 4, what age do kids start kindergarten? 6, right?
5.
Okay, so you have 4 years. It's only 4 years that you're gonna have to pay for a daycare if that's what you decide to do down the road. But obviously, you're not just having one kid, so you're gonna have to pay. What's that? 4 years, and then a couple of years. You might have like a 2-year, layover, with both kids in daycare. Oh, by the way, that adds up. There's no there's not really much of a discount rate when you have multiple kids. They charge separately, and it's quite a big bill.
I think it's got to be quite a racket because, say average, a kid gets $50 a day, right? And also, someone was telling us that if you hire a nanny full time, you also have to pay them for vacation and holidays.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. I wanted to bring that up.
What the hell?
Yeah. Oh no, it's crazy. And the big question mark when you have nannies, they can have sick days. So
I'm sorry, not nannies. I mean, that's completely understandable. They're basically a full-time employee, but daycares.
Oh, daycares. Oh, yeah. I heard that. Yeah, my brother and sister-in-law, they did that with Illinois. The daycare they had. You paid for the vacation. You paid for stuff. But
that's messed up. That's like being on the road and be like, hey, I'm gonna eat at Arby's, 5 times this week, and then they'll make you pay for the 6th and 7th day.
Hey, yeah, it's a business though. That's what we're doing here.
It is a business, but it's basically a racket. So all right, so let's do some very rough and dirty math. So you got 8 kids. Now let's make it 10 for ease of math, and say you charge $50 a day, right? So that's $250 a week times 52 weeks, and that would be, damn it, I wish I picked easier numbers. All right, so 52 times 250. That's $13,000 a year for a kid. Times 10 kids, that's $130,000. Now you probably get some tax breaks in there for being a. So you're gonna get taxed at the regular business rate, but I'm sure you get some sort of subsidies or tax breaks for being a child care place from the state or federal government. So maybe instead of taking half of that, maybe they take a third. So times up by 0.67, and you're still raking in off of 10 kids in your care, $87,000 plus. That's not bad for sitting at home and being your kid's SpaghettiOs.
Putting on Nickelodeon and PBS in the afternoons.
I mean, yes, there is like costs for like materials and room and board in there, but you got to be thinking too is like, thinking back to my daycare, it was the SpaghettiOs, it was a TV. I mean, we weren't having arts and crafts time. Maybe we play outside every now and then. I mean, that's all that kids really need.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah, to a point.
We need some time in the yard.
What my brother and sister-in-law like about the bigger daycares, those expensive ones that you pay for, is that they're learning and they'll be pretty well prepared when they enter the schooling age, because obviously education is very important. And
Not unless your
many
kid's
parents-
dumb.
Well, it's going to prevent your kids from it prevents your kids from being dumb because you have educators who are going to educate them instead of just putting them in front of Nickelodeon, like I was kind of raised.
Ah,
I turned
Yeah.
out TV.
yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll just be the best like stay-at-home dad during the day and then crime fighter at night. I mean, business person at night.
Yeah, you might get worn out pretty quickly, though. I mean, it's just
Now, see, Batman would be a great stay-at-home dad
why
because he works nights.
Batman never fought crime during the day. Come on.
He didn't, except for The Dark Knight Rises. If you think about it.
I'm thinking of like the animated series. I swear he did stuff during the daytime.
I was trying to think. By the way, Batman the Animated Series is like one of the best cartoons in the history of mankind.
Oh yeah, I grew up on that. It's phenomenal that today, like for the modern video games that they released for Batman, they brought back the old voice, whoever did the voice for Batman, and I know Mark Hamill did the voice of Joker, and they're both doing it for modern games today. And it's 2015. The animated series came back out in like the mid '90s, early '90s is when we watched it.
Yeah, I don't know. But somehow we got on Batman the Animated Series off of daycare. So any closing thoughts on daycare, Nick?
It's the people who do these, who take care of the child. This was a power to you. You doing a hard ass job. I couldn't do it. You're making a lot. You're expensive. I'm sure in the end it's worth it for you guys to do those type of things. But man, it's definitely something to take in consideration if you're starting off if you want to start off and be a parent. So I hope a lot of future parents take this in consideration. If you don't have family or if you don't have a stay-at-home, plan up. Just be prepared that there's a lot of costs in raising a kid. Like seriously.
Would you ever open up a daycare, Nick?
I don't think I could. No.
With your record, you couldn't.
We said we wouldn't talk about that on the
Whoa.
podcast.
Whoa. Now, if you do want to open up your own daycare, you are going to need some industrial-sized cans of SpaghettiOs, a TV that watches Days of Our Lives, and maybe some cursory art supplies, like maybe some marker and some paper and whatever. And you should get those on Amazon, top left corner, dadmopod.com. Click on that. It'll take you to Amazon through our link. Bookmark that shiz. And just whenever you're buying something on Amazon, which you're going to do anyways, just use our link, and we get a taste. And keeps our little humble show going. Nick, what's the next thing you're buying on Amazon?
Markers.
A Batman the Animated Series on DVD.
Oh, I would totally buy that.
Also, make sure to tell a friend. Little word of mouth action is how we keep this show growing and making Nick a minor celebrity.
Yeah, we're kind of celebrities now. We're international. We had one fan write a review about us.
Oh yeah, did you listen to that? How was it?
Yeah, it was good. It was very the guy was really nice. He played a clip from our episode about child actors.
Yeah.
He played a clip of it, and he said we sounded like all right dudes. Pulling up his name right now. It's sadly lacking radio. The miserable bastard. Out of Japan. He found us on iTunes, and he liked it. We're pretty honest guys. He's in the same boat you kind of. He has a kid now, and it's great. I'm glad people are enjoying and listening to us, and they don't think I'm a total douchebag, unlike all my ex-girlfriends. They think I'm an asshole. So.
Well, I'm fantastic. I'm really happy you took the time out to review us, good, bad, otherwise. But I actually don't listen too much to like reviews or even read like comments or anything like that because good, bad, or otherwise, I just don't want it to affect the product. It's pure.
You think I tainted it by revealing what this guy said?
Nah, you're fine. But it's just not really my bag. I'm glad he did it though. More props to him.
Yeah.
Then you get a little shout out. Yeah.
Hells yeah.
There you go. Boom. All right, we're out of here. Keep us climbing the charts in iTunes. Subscribe, 5-star rating, and a little review. Be like, Andy is awesome. Nick is kind of a pervert. There you go.
Hey, whoa, okay.
Click send. Follow us on Twitter at DadModePod. Uncle Nick is at Nickason. I am at Andy Carlson Show. Website, as always, dadmodepod.com. But we're gone. Be a man. Be a father. Go dad mode. See you next time. Industrial size can of SpaghettiOs. It's all you need for a daycare. It really is. All right, good night.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go dad mode. The music is created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/Deeb.